Alright, y'all, in this video I want to teach y'all how to eat whatever you want and still get a six-pack. Or eat whatever you want, because not everybody's going to get a six-pack, but eat whatever you want and still lose body fat. Some body fat. You may not lose all of your body fat, but let me tell you how to lose some body fat no matter what you eat. Keyword. Whatever you want to eat, but not however much you want to eat. Not about, alright, what can I say? All right, calories in, calories out, maintenance calories, surplus calories, deficit calories. We all heard these things, right? Repetime, we already know that stuff. But like I said in my last video, knowing this stuff means absolutely nothing if you're not taking action. You know what I'm saying? Or taking action, thinking you're doing the right thing, but not actually knowing how to dial in and go all out on it. Also means, I'm not going to say that means nothing. That means something. But it don't mean enough if you really, really want your goals. All right. I've never seen anybody go all out towards their goals and not get there, or not get most of the way there, or not make great progress. All right. The fact that the matter is most people don't go all out. They say this doesn't matter, or this is okay, and blah blah blah. Oh, I don't need to know that, and yada yada yada. Whenever it comes to their goal, whenever it's something that's not fun or entertaining or some recreational thing, they don't want to hear it. They don't want to know it. They might even ask the question, and then they get bored before you even give the answer. Or they answer it with the wrong information themselves. They want to let you get a word in. That's why I will never be a personal trainer, and I don't really give that much advice in person unless somebody really, if I find out they ain't listening in 3 seconds, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to walk away. Might be rude, but I'm going to walk away. I don't got time for that. All right. So, what I'm trying to say. All right, I had a phone call, but hey, people always trying to call me, man. Stop. What I'm trying to say is this. It's all about nutritional control, calorie control. Controlling the amount of calories you're eating. Now, you can eat more food, less calorie dense foods, or you can eat less foods. And if you're eating high calorie dense foods, you're just gonna have to eat very little bit of it, right? Like say for instance, what's dirty food? Let's say grease, fat. Anything with high fat is like the highest calorie dense food. Fat is the highest calorie dense nutritional value thing of all, out of carbs, out of fats, out of proteins, or anything else, fiber, sugar, alcohol. Gram for gram, fats have the most calories. And when you combine fats with sugar and something that's really good like donuts or ice cream and stuff like that, it's hard to stop eating it, so we end up overeating it. But that's not even what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is the size of the food, right? The volume, right? So if I'm eating something like donuts compared to if I'm eating spinach, of course that's two different foods. This is a snack and this is actually, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, I could have 100 calories of spinach and it's this big. 100 calories of donuts is like that big. Probably not even that big. Right? Which one do you think I'm gonna end up overeating on? 100 calories of spinach will fill up almost anybody watching this video. Of course, I don't want to just sit there and eat 100 calories of spinach. Now, last time, not the last diet I was on, every time I diet, I've been changing up the way I diet for different reasons, just to fit where I'm at the time. Like this time when I start dieting again for the summer, is gonna be way different than the one I did last time. I think this time I'm gonna do a little intermittent fast. I didn't do that last time or the last time. I used to be real big on fasting back in the days. A lot of people thought I flied the flag for fasting, or that I turned my back on fasting when I stopped fasting, or I thought it didn't work anymore. No, it works great. It ain't for everybody, but it works great. These are just tools to get you to that depth. Everything, when it comes to a successful weight loss, everything is a tool to get you to that deficit. That deficit is the goal. There's a million different ways to get there, but that deficit is the goal. If you're trying to lose weight, right? Like anything else. Like, okay, let's say football. You got all these different plays. The touchdown is the goal. You got Hail Marys, you got this play, you got all these different plays, but it's all to get to the same place. So a lot of diets, you do this, you do that, you cut out this, you cut out that. I don't do any of that. I don't do carnivore. I don't go vegan. I don't do paleo. I don't do keto. I'm not saying these things are bad and they don't have their benefits. If you got health issues that these things can help you with, talk to your doctor. I'm not really that guy for that. A lot of people be coming up to me for advice for, I got diabetes, but I want to lose. I'm like, dog, I ain't touching that with a stick, bro. I'm not. I know what to do, but I'm not your doctor's, because if I tell you something to do with that and you do it opposite, or let's say you get messed up anyways, you be trying to blame me. I'm not your doctor, all right? I just know weight loss. I know other stuff, but I only tell people about weight loss. So I do a balanced diet. I eat proteins, fats, carbs. I have snacks. I have cheat days. I bulk, I cut, which not for everybody. A lot of people be like, well, if your diet works so good, why do you be gaining weight? I gained 10 pounds since my last cut. My last cut was like 2 months ago. I do not have a gut. I do not have a gut. I do not have a gut. And my diet was 2 months ago, and I be eating almost whatever I want for 2 months. I gained 10 pounds. Now that 10 pounds, I would say at least half, probably a little more, was water weight. And out of, let's say it's 4 pounds left, right? Out of those 4 pounds, I would say 3 pounds was fat and 1 pound was muscle. I would hope it's more than 1 pound of muscle, right? I would hope it's half and half. I hope it's 2 pounds of fat and 2 pounds of muscle. But I know it's some fat there because my abs aren't as ripped as they were. That's not the goal right now. The goal isn't to have my abs as ripped as possible year round. I can do that, but I don't want to do that. I like to eat. I want to make gains. I want to get stronger in the gym. I want my gym performance to be crazy. Calories are energy, mass moves mass. So for me getting a slight bit bigger helps out my gym performance, and it's going to help me look better when I rip back down. So if I was 164 when I was dieting, at the end of my diet, if I gained 3 pounds of muscle, which I don't think I did, but if I did, that's crazy. Maybe it's possible. If I gained 3 pounds, it is kind of possible though if you think about it though. For those who know anything about gaining muscle, you gain your most muscle. Of course, you gain the most muscle when you're a newbie. Your first year, year and a half, 2 years, that's when you put on the most muscle that you're gonna put on, right? But after that, the most muscle you're gonna put on mostly is gonna come right after a cut, because you're regaining some of the muscle you lost during the cut, and your body is just ready to grow. All right, so those are the main 2 things. All right, you got to make sure you got enough protein. You got to make sure you got enough. You got to make sure you got enough protein. You got to make sure you get enough rest. You got to make sure you get enough stimulus, working out, breaking the muscle down. You got to make sure you get enough protein, stimulus, sleep, rest, recovery. It's a combination of those things. You know what I'm saying? So, but with fat loss, it's simply calories in, calories out, right? Even if you do nothing, if you don't do a high activity, there's people who lose body fat that don't even work out. And there's people who work out. Let's say you got 2 different type of people, right? Let's say there's no such thing as the same exact genetics. People who had the same mother, the same father, they're going to have way closer genetics than anybody else. If there's identical twins, they're going to have way closer, even closer than that. But they are still 2 different people, right? So nothing's going to be exact. It's just like your fingerprints are not exactly the same as anybody else's. Your results, even if you do the same exact thing, is going to be slightly different, or sometimes way different than anybody else's. But let's say we could do that. Let's say in a different world, we could have 2 people exactly the same. Person A relied on working out to lose weight. Person A working out. He didn't worry about dieting at all. Person B dieted, didn't worry about working out at all. These people are going to have two different things, two different results. Person A is probably going to be more muscular and more strong. He's probably going to lose some body fat. Person B, he's going to lose hella weight. But he's not going to be as muscular and strong because he didn't do the activity. But if you combine the two, fusion high, then you got me. You know what I'm saying? Hey, then you got me, the best of both worlds, bro. Sis, whoever listening, and that's what you need. But if you got a reason not to work out, or you got different, you can choose not to, or you can choose this. But just know that you're gonna get out what you put in. You're gonna get out what you put in. You go to the gym, chatty patty talking. I went to the gym. Being in the gym is not. I'm not gonna get it. That will turn into a rant. But I'm gonna say it real quick without turning it into a rant. Some people want to hear the rant. Type in Repetite Fitness rant. I got 1 million of them. But do not rant. Being in the gym, there's no magical atmosphere. Being close to somebody who's doing something is not gonna rub off on you. Being around somebody who died, like, yeah, habits do rub off. They could, whatever. But banking on that is the wrong route. You gotta grab the world by its throat. You gotta grab the world. You gotta grab life by the throat and say, you gonna bend to my will. You feel me? Everything becomes way easier once you go all out. And when I say all out, I don't mean, okay, as soon as you start working out, go crazy. No, you gotta learn how to do it, or you're gonna end up getting injured. Or you're gonna burn out and give up. You know, a lot of people, they start running. I told this lady, right, she weighed like 400 pounds. And she was so, like, excited that she was gonna start her diet or whatever on New Year's, just like years ago. Probably like 6 years ago, I don't know. But what I'm saying is, she was excited that she was about to start her diet. She was like, I'm gonna start running and this, that, and the third. I was like, I was with her until she said she's gonna start running. I was like, you don't need to be running. Walk. Walk, work your way to power walking. I don't even think you need to start jogging until you lose like a good percentage of that weight. Because all of those pounds is gonna be impacting on your knee joints. And what she ended up doing, she didn't listen to me. She messed up both her knees. She had lost probably 20 or 30 pounds. She had a lot of weight to lose, so she lost 20 or 30 pounds like that. You know what I'm saying? The more weight you have to lose, the faster you can lose weight. But she messed up both her knees. They was like sore for like months. And exactly what I told her was gonna happen. And she ended up not working out for another half a year, maybe, I'm guessing. But she gained all the weight back and then some. She ended up being, I think, 30 pounds above where she started. Walk. I walk. I can run. I can jog. I just rather walk. I do a lot of activities. I mean, I run sometimes. Heart health and all that it is actually better in certain ways to walk or to run or jog. But at the same time, until you work your way up to that, you know, especially a lot of people, they ain't ran in years. You've been sitting, no disrespect, but if you've been sitting on the couch for years and you just get up, I'm trying to help, and you just get up and start running, what do you think is going to happen? And if you don't get hurt, it's going to be just grueling. A lot of people give up. A lot of people don't even get hurt. They just give up because they biting off more than they can chew right off bat. So when I mean go all out, I don't mean that. I mean have a sensible plan and do as much of it each day as you possibly can. Plan out your rest days. Plan out your workout days. I can help you if you want me to. But I'm just saying, it's not going to happen unless you do it. And caloric deficit is the way. People will be like, well, I know this one person, they took that medicine and they lost all kind of weight. And guess what they was on? A caloric deficit. It was just another route to the same thing, caloric deficit. Everybody who lost weight was in a caloric deficit, one way or another, whether they cut things out or whether they did something or whatever it was, or even if they didn't cut their calories at all, right? Let's say you got a person who was eating 3,000 calories a day, right? And they start working out and they continue to eat 3,000 calories a day. But let's say before they start working out, let's say they was only burning 2,500 calories a day, which means every day they was in a 500 calorie deficit. Surplus. So it was gaining weight. But they started working out, they started jogging, doing all kind of stuff, and they started burning more than 3,000 calories a day. Now they're in a deficit, eating the same amount of calories. You could create a deficit by also moving more. It's just most people ain't ready for that, or most people are not willing to do that. You know, I would recommend doing a little bit of each. Eat more, move less. Wait, dang, I said that backwards. You know what I said. Eat less, move more. But at the same time, you gotta find out what's right for you. You gotta find out. Matter of fact, I got video for that. Top 10 misconceptions about weight loss. I got a whole video. This is just me freestyling off the top of the head. That one, I wrote that down. Is this a freestyle that's written? Yo, check it out. Comment, like, subscribe, share. Holla back at your boy. Reptile Fitness, please.